to cover real quickly your views on internet technology landscape. Of course, we're going to explore Virgin Galactic, and then peer around the corner and think about the stuff that we get most excited about.
Yeah.
But just to level set, let's start with a quick lightning round about who you are, what you've done. You grew up in Sri Lanka and Canada.
Yep.
Rich or poor?
Well, my parents were kind of ruling class in Sri Lanka, and then in the Civil War we emigrated to Canada, and I grew up on welfare.
Siblings?
2 younger sisters.
Favorite sport?
Basketball.
You moved to Silicon Valley in 1999. Why?
I had a job as a derivatives trader. I was an electrical engineering grad, but I had a job as a derivatives trader. I had a, kind of come to Jesus moment where I didn't really feel like I was being very productive. And the smartest kids in my class had gone there. I went to school in Canada, University of Waterloo. So I just followed them.
You joined AOL, or was there a step? There's something before AOL.
Yeah, there was a company called Winamp, which I was a part of, which was acquired by AOL. It made a media player. It was kind of, before iTunes was iTunes, there was this thing called Winamp, and it was 8 of us. And then I became part of AOL Music, and then I ran AOL Instant Messenger, and then I left and I joined Facebook. And
joined Facebook in 2007.
Yeah, it was one of the founding kind of senior 4 or 5
What were your first impressions meeting Zuckerberg?
I met him in 2005 when I was at AOL. This guy, Sean Parker, who was the president of Facebook at the time, brought him to my office in Washington, D.C., because he was in D.C. at the time visiting his parents, and he had brought Zuck with him. And kind of like very similar to the movie, he showed up in flip-flops and like a fleece vest in the middle of November, and I thought, he's either absolutely fucking crazy or, he's a genius and he knows something I don't know. It turned out to be the latter, so I went to work for him.
So you left Facebook to start your own VC firm, Social Capital, in 2011?
Yeah. Kind of when everybody was running to get in the doors, I could not wait to get out.
You got lucky and invested in the Golden State Warriors?
Was very lucky to be a part of that. That was really good.
You're a dad of 4?
4 kids.
Favorite activity with the kids?
Honestly, doing nothing.
Now, let's jump in. Google. There are 2 big stocks in the internet travel industry that blew up over the course of the last couple of weeks, TripAdvisor and Expedia. They both pointed fingers at Google. Expedia stock has underperformed Google by 140% over the last 5 years. TripAdvisor worse, at underperforming by 200%. You and I have been talking about Google turning free search into paid search for years. Rob Torres from Google's in the crowd. He's literally like pouring cocktails into people in the crowd while he turns the heat up on the pot. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on at Google and the implications for not only those in the e-commerce travel ecosystem, but the internet ecosystem more broadly.
Yeah, it's important to take a step back and realize what's happening, which is that Google is a monopoly. I don't care what, the regulatory reaction to that word is or what the legal department of Google thinks, but it is a monopoly. And I think that that's a fabulous thing. Great businesses are monopolies. They have pricing power. They have basically meaningful network effects. They control customers. They have massive gross margins. They have huge profitability that's repeatable and predictable. In all those dimensions, Google is a monopoly. Now you have to take a step back, though, and figure out what their problem is. Well, they struck gold, and they literally said the business strategy for the first 20 years of the company is to hire every able-bodied man and woman, anywhere they can find them, to run outside with a bucket while money falls from the sky. And then to run back inside as fast as possible so that somebody else can count it while they run back outside while the money falls from the sky. That's the quality of that business. But the problem is that people, specifically in the equity markets and the public markets, need to figure out, as that 20-year window closes, what is the next act? It's like Kanye West can drop a great album, but he's just a one-hit wonder unless he keeps dropping successive albums. Apple is a great company in the first 20 years of the iPhone, but eventually they have to transition their business. Google, similarly, is now in a position where they know that the clock is running out on their second act, meaning investor patience will wane. And you can see it in how they run the company. So the first thing they do is they reorganize themselves so that they can separate the core search business, which is effectively Google, from everything else. So that investors can just say, hey, okay, take a break, we're figuring this out. Then the second thing they do is they basically try to buy themselves enough time, which is, as you say, they turn up the heat slowly on the core search business to increase profitability while they take that money and throw millions of darts at a dartboard, hoping to find this next great second act. And so if you are a business who thrives inside this Google environment, the longer it takes for them to find a second act, the more you're fucked. End of story.